When I awoke, the forest was bathed in the golden light of dawn. The events of the previous night felt surreal, but the unfamiliar weight of my new body reminded me of the harsh reality. I knew I needed a plan. I began to step out of the cave but stopped. At the mouth of the cave was a loaf of bread, a canteen, and a dress that looked like it would fit the new me. I looked around cautiously. I approached the mouth of the cave and picked up the items. The dress was simple but sturdy, made of coarse fabric that would be better suited for the forest rigors than my oversized tunic. Grateful for the provisions, I quickly changed into the dress. The thought of wearing this was off-putting, but right now I needed to blend in, and blinding in meant that I need to look like a small 9-year-old girl, rather than a girl wearing the tunic of a prince. Feeling slightly more comfortable and less conspicuous. As I ate the bread and drank the water from the canteen, I wondered who had left them for me. Was it someone who knew of my plight, or simply a kind stranger? Either way, I couldn't afford to linger. I had to find Alara and undo the dark magic that had transformed me. With the map the elder had given me clutched tightly in my hand, I set off into the forest. The path was winding and treacherous, but the map provided clear instructions. I moved cautiously, aware of every sound and movement around me. The forest was dense and mysterious, its thick canopy blocking much of the sunlight. Hours passed as I navigated through the underbrush, the terrain growing increasingly challenging. I encountered streams and steep inclines, but I pressed on, determined to reach Alara. The memory of Sir Roderick's betrayal fueled my resolve, and I refused to let despair take hold. Finally, as the sun began to set, casting long shadows through the trees, I saw a clearing up ahead. In the center stood a small, humble cottage surrounded by a lush garden. Smoke curled from the chimney, and the scent of herbs filled the air. I approached the cottage with trepidation, my heart pounding in my chest. As I reached the door, it swung open, revealing a woman with flowing silver hair and piercing blue eyes. She looked at me with a mixture of surprise and curiosity. "I bet you're not who you appear to be," the woman said, practically pushing me into the door. "Come on in, Prince Alistair." Stunned, I stepped into the cozy cottage. "How did you know?" Alara smiled, a twinkle of amusement in her eyes. "The forest has eyes and ears, child. News travels fast here. Besides, there's a certain aura about you that doesn't belong to a simple peasant girl. So, I instructed my followers to distract the guards long enough to get clothes and food for you in that cave. To be honest, I wasn't expecting you to be here so soon." Relief washed over me as I realized I had found the right person. "Please, Alara, I need your help. Sir Roderick used dark magic to turn me into this. I need to find a way to reverse the spell." Alara's expression turned serious as she motioned for me to sit by the fire. "I know of the dark magic you speak of. It is powerful, but not invincible. There is a way to break the curse, but it can only be broken by Sir Roderick himself. If he doesn't, then I'm afraid that you are stuck in that body forever. But there must be something we can do," I pleaded, desperation creeping into my voice. "I can't just accept this fate." Alara looked at me thoughtfully, her piercing blue eyes softening with empathy. "There is always hope, child," she whispered. "But for now, you will have to live in this new body of yours." Alara looked outside and saw that the night had already settled in. "It's getting dark, child," she said, getting up from her chair. "You of course can spend the night here, you are safe here." As Alara showed me to a small room with a simple bed and a few woven blankets, I felt a wave of gratitude. The warmth of the cottage and Alara's kindness provided a stark contrast to the cold, frightening reality I had faced since my transformation. "Thank you, Alara," I said, my voice tinged with exhaustion. "I don't know what I would have done without your help." She smiled softly, tucking a stray strand of silver hair behind her ear. "Rest now, Alistair. Tomorrow, we will discuss what steps we can take. For now, regain your strength." As I settled into bed, I couldn't help but reflect on the events that had brought me here. The betrayal, the transformation, and the dark magic that had altered my fate seemed like a terrible dream. Yet, the discomfort of my new, smaller body and the lingering fear reminded me that this was all too real. Sleep came fitfully, haunted by nightmares of Sir Roderick and the dark forces he had allied himself with. In my dreams, the forest seemed alive, whispering secrets and warnings that I couldn't quite understand.